After a good rest, we are back in the workshop and ready for the next challenge. Just to catch up, we've taken the first 2 layers of the keel back out and laid them next to the final layer of the keel. Let me take you through in detail about what we are doing today. There's a lot going on and time will not be on our side. It's around 25 degrees at the moment and epoxy goes off a lot quicker in the heat. So we come back to the keel, the 2 parts of the keel. This was 3 layers we were putting together. We've got 2 layers here and we've got our 3rd layer here. Today we're going to actually marry these 2 pieces together. That will give us the remainder of our keel all ready to start putting under the boat. Part of this has already been under the boat. If you remember, we had to fit the first 2 layers against the deadwood and hog, adding the shaped wedge that helped create 2 flat surfaces between the deadwood, hog and keel. We've prepared these 2 surfaces, we've sanded them and just give them a freshen up on the surface. We're going to have to acetone wipe them off and then we're going to pre-west them, west epoxy glue, and then we're going to mix some additives into that and put another layer onto the top of that. We're then going to marry the 2 surfaces together, and to make sure that we get them in the right place, the keel bolts, the initial drilling of the keel bolts has all been done on these, so we'll be using these bolts to line them up. Now the one thing we don't want them to do is we don't want them to stick, the glue to go around them and hold them in there and we can't get them out. So we're going to be putting some grease and wax on these before we put them in, so that hopefully they won't stick and we'll be able to get them out. I'm fairly confident we've done it before, but that will give us the alignment. And then underneath here, we've got all our cramps and cramping blocks all set up, all ready to go. Time is of the essence on this because West Epoxy has a workable time. The epoxy will generate its own heat during the curing process. This is known as an exothermic reaction. Basically, energy will be released in the form of heat as the epoxy resin and hardener combine to form a new bonding surface. With the warmer ambient temperature and the wide surface working area we have, the probability of increased and faster exotherming will be higher. We will have to work quickly as a team in order to beat the countdown of the epoxy curing clock. If you think about it, it looks like we are making a huge baguette sandwich filled with some very special ingredients. Those ingredients need to be combined carefully and exactly so we stick to recipe. We have to be quick so the filling doesn't go off and spoil the whole meal. So without further ado, let's get in that kitchen and start cooking. After giving both surfaces a final sand, we can then clean them with acetone. This is strong stuff, so keep your working area well ventilated and away from any naked flame. The acetone helps both clean the surfaces of residual dirt and dust. It also helps get that first coat, coat of resin into the pores of the wood, so it helps it all to stick. Lovely. The acetone will dry off very quickly, so before any dust can resettle on there, we'll get the epoxy on straight away. If we put these 2 together with this between, it'd be fine. It probably would stick, but it's got no body to it. It is just like a thin varnish as such. But we're doing this to get it to soak in, to give our glue a chance to hold as well. As soon as we have both sides of the keel completely covered in the first layer of epoxy, we can then add the next compound that will help fuse the keel pieces together. So this is actually the glue, so it's got colloidal silica in it to turn it into a glue. So we've got the pre-west underneath it, which should stop it all drawing out all the resin out of the actual glue itself. Okay, I'm going to need some help here, so I've enlisted the help of Jamie and Noah. I just can't get this on quick enough without knowing exactly when it will start curing. So many hands make light work, as they say. They will keep making up the silica glue compound and then help get it on as quickly as possible. They'll also help sandwich the pieces together and clamp it all up. What would I do without them? Okay, here we go. As soon as we start laying the last layer of keel, we have to get the greased bolts in as fast as possible. We don't want any epoxy in the bolt hole. Any major influx of epoxy would be a minor disaster. We'll start from the aft bolt hole, then get the nearest bolt to the scarf in. After that, we can get the rest on. That's annoying. The first aft bolt doesn't want to go through. The glue could be going off quicker than I thought. Right, I think a bit of metal on metal is needed. Do you want a hammer? Yay. That's a relief. I'll get the scarf end bolt done up and then we can quickly do the rest. It's looking positive. No time to lose though. Right, we need to get our cramps on as soon as possible.
All of them have got 2 blocks, yeah? 4 blocks. So one side, one the other, yeah? Roger.
They need to be evenly distributed along the keel. I always recommend using small wooden blocks covered with packing tape when clamping to wood. No dents, no blemishes. I think we are nearly there. Just a few more clamps and I think we're done. I reckon that's it. You can never have enough clamps, it appears, but the more clamps we use, the better the bond. I'll come back to you in 24 hours and see where we are. So we've left her overnight to allow the glue to fully cure. Let me bring you up to speed.
Cramping pads have gone. We've removed those 3 bolts that we greased up. They drove out quite nicely. And the process after that really was just to fair those sides in and get them all tapered in correctly. And we've sanded it up. But it's laying upside down at the moment because I'm building this pattern here, making a pattern up. There's going to be what we would call a shoe go on the back end here. The metal that this will be used is probably going to be about 4mm or 5mm plate steel, which will eventually be galvanised. This will actually tie in the back of the keel through the shoe and down through a bar to the back of the transom eventually. That bar will also provide something for the rudder to hang on with a pintle.
I'll show you what I mean. Imagine we've turned the keel upright and you're now looking towards the stern.
Instead of having this wood extend out here on ours, we're going to have a metal shoe go across here, in this part here, and then we'll be tied in with a bar that goes up onto our transom. This bar here, again, protects our prop from going round, which will be going round in here. And it gives us a position to put a gudgeon ready for a pintle of our rudder to go onto. So yeah, the pattern I'm making at the moment actually replaces this piece of wood down here that will go onto the back end of our keel. I'm making this up on the outside of the keel. The person who welds this up will be able to make it on the inside of my pattern. I'm going to have some supports going down and some sides. And we'll be able to, all we've then got to do is take out the thickness of the metal out of this back end of the keel. By taking this meat out of it now, we're going to reduce the time that we're going to have to spend underneath the boat later on.
I'll be back in a moment. I'm just going to take out that 6mm around where the metal shoe will sit. I'll take the bulk of it off with the router and then fine tune with the chisels. And to cut the sides, I'll have to turn the whole thing over to make that a bit easier. You'll be able to see exactly how the shoe will fit. I've already made a template of the shoe to show you.
I've now rebaited not just the bottom but the 2 sides here. I've cut this piece of 6mm MDF, which represents the steel. So the steel will go on there, will be fastening through there and on the 2 side plates. The template will fit on like that. So it sort of gives you the rough shape of how the metalwork's going to go. The way that this will work is that I've made that so our fabricator can lay his 6mm sheets in here, cutting them to the profile that I've got on the side here. So like so. And once he's welded them down the seams and we take that out of there, that will then fit. You'll appreciate that I don't have any welds on this. It will then fit in situ like so.
We'll get this off to the welder and fingers crossed, the new shoe will slip on perfectly. Am I being too optimistic? I'm sure there'll be a bit of fine tuning, there always is. In the meantime, let's start the final step of this process, getting the new keel in and bolted up. This is the biggest component we are making during the whole restoration. I'm glad we're getting this out of the way first. I can relax a bit more when it's done. Before wheeling the new keel in, we need to cover the main area with a general purpose oil-based flexible mastic. We've already primed the main area to save a bit of time. Don't be fooled, I know this looks like chocolate spread, but it's definitely not. I wouldn't spread it on toast if I were you. It won't actually go completely off. It'll stay fairly soft and flexible and allow us to, we don't want this permanently lumped up against the hog. We're not looking for a permanent fix there. At the aft, we will also need to glue the area between the keel and deadwoods using the same process we went through earlier.
So we've got the pre-wested on there as well already. And then we've got the microfibers to make this into a glue so it sticks the two together. And we mix this fairly thick because if there's any inconsistencies between our fixes, it will take up those little spaces.
Okay, here we go.
Jamie, I am going to need a help. Jamie?
Hello.
I need help now.
Okay.
Now.
All right.
Again, we're up against the clock. We need to get the keel up and bolted before the epoxy on the aft end goes off. It's all hands on deck once more. We'll focus on getting the bolt near the scarf on first and then head back aft for the one there.
You see that bolt that's right behind you, what you've just stood over?
Yep.
That needs to go in first down there so I can marry it up with this.
Tell me when you want to push it down.
Try now. Hold on. Wriggle, wriggle. That's been in there. Hold on, you're in the wrong hole. It's that one right against the thing.
You didn't say which hole.
Oh, sorry. Right, whoa, hold it there. Right. Right, come down a bit. Keep coming. Is that it?
No, we've got about 4 inches.
That's it, that's lovely. That's
Yep.
in. Yep.
Leave it there.
Just hold on 2 secs.
These are always tense moments. We've already done a dry run of this, so the bolts should all fit, he said.
Push it down a bit. Hold on.
How's it going, Alan?
Sorry?
How's it going, Alan? Do you need me to do anything?
I will. I'll give you a shout in a minute.
Okay.
Going. Is that forward bolt that we put in, is that all the way down? Is that down or not?
No.
Okay.
It's about 4 inches.
It's lifted up, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah, if I wriggle it, can you see if you can push it down? Lovely. Oh, fantastic. Stop there. Stop for a minute.
Success. I can get a bolt on now. We won't take it up all the way until we have the aft bolt on. Even then, we need to bring the keel up incrementally to keep it nice and level. Well, that aft bolt just dropped through without a hitch. Let's bolt it up quickly and join up the keel to the deadwoods before the epoxy goes off. I have to be careful not to rush it. Accidents can and do happen.
Oh,
You all right?
I've poked myself in the head and I'm bleeding at the moment.
Oh.
Cut, cut, cut. This isn't a horror film, this is a boat restoration series. Just give me a minute to clean up and I'll get back to you. Now that the aft and scarf end bolts are tight, we can get the rest in. I think we're getting close.
It's looking fairly good.
I ain't cried just yet. Oh, that one's through.
Whilst I'm stuck down here bleeding to death, Jamie seems to have found his real vocation, selling spanners.
This is an advert sponsored by Snap-on. The dreamiest spanners a man can own.
Well, I've never heard of a spanner being described as dreamy. That's a first. I think he's just got spanner envy. He wants my set, I can tell.
You'll go home tonight and think, I want to own a set like that.
Oh no, I'm going to try and work out, see where the Snap-on man is and see if he'll come in.
Only another 2 to go.
So far so good. A little bit of blood, obviously, where I caught myself, but apart from that, are you on it?
Yep, on it like a car bonnet. That could be your new catchphrase, Alan, where there's blood, there's sweat.
Do I need a catchphrase?
I think you do, yeah, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
That will do.
Right, next one. Oh. Oh.
It's like a game of tennis in here.
Lovely.
We are on match point after all, Jamie. Let's ace it with that bolt in the bow. It's the only bolt we've had problems with. It just didn't budge when we first tried it. With all the other bolts in, I hope it will be a bit easier. Jamie's going to have to use some brute force to get it through. Once done, it'll be game, set and match.
Try a little bit now.
There we go.
better,
Should be
isn't
through.
Thank goodness for that. Let's tighten the last one up. I could really do with a cup of tea now, maybe some cake as well. This deserves a celebration. Lovely.
I think we're there.
We've done it. The main body of the backbone is in, and we can finally move on to the next job of replacing the transom and stem. It's been a long journey, but we've finally reached our destination.
He who dares wins. Don't think I'd quite make the SAS, but...
Oh, I thought that was Only Fools and Horses quote. He who dares wins, Rodney.
The youth of today. I think a couple of history lessons are called for. Join us next time when we'll be taking the old transom out, evaluating its condition, and then making decisions from there.